Okay, this is J-Man time, and today I have yet another new weapon system developed by North Korea over the last 12 months. And this weapon system was unveiled on the 25th of April of 2022. And this weapon system here is an unknown type of shoulder-fired, fire-and-forget anti-tank weapon system that seems to be based, or at least copied, from the Swedish/British designed NLAW. Now, this weapon system was unveiled by the North Korean Armed Forces during the 90th military parade, or 90th anniversary military parade, which happened back in April the 25th of 2022. Now, during this parade, North Korea unveiled a large number of new weapon systems that are currently being manufactured for the North Korean Armed Forces. But yet another weapon system that caught my eye is this unnamed type of anti-tank rocket launching system, or shoulder-fired anti-tank weapon system. Now, according to some weapon experts, this weapon system seems to be North Korea's attempt, or North Korea's copy, of the Swedish/British NLAW. The NLAW, also known as the Next Generation Light Anti-Armor Weapon System, is a joint Swedish and British anti-tank weapon systems project that began all the way back in 1999 and lasted until 2009, when the weapon entered service with both the armed forces of both Sweden and Britain since the year 2009. Now, the NLAW became famous for its use during the current war in the Ukraine, also known as the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, starting in February of 2022. The NLAW, also known as the MBT law, or in Sweden as the RB57, is one of these standard fire and forget lightweight shoulder fire disposable or single-use anti-tank missile systems, and it has been exported to a number of countries, Ukraine being one of them. But surprisingly, North Korea has somehow figured out how to reverse engineer a weapon system that they themselves don't have any access to. Now, this weapon system was only shown for a few seconds during the North Korean parade. At least a few dozen soldiers from North Korea's anti-tank division were seen parading with these weapons during the 90th anniversary parade. Now, if these are indeed copies of the NLAW, or at least a weapon system that is equivalent to the NLAW, then that means that North Korea is finally developing anti-tank weapon systems that can take on more modern tanks used by both South Korea and the Western forces, and their Western and Pacific allies. Tanks like the South Korean K-1 and K-1A1 MBT main battle tanks, and even the more modern South Korean K-2 Black Panther MBT main battle tank that is currently being produced for the South Korean Armed Forces, and maybe even some of the American supplied tanks, or tanks that would be supplied by the US, like the M1 and M2 Abrams tanks, which are the standard tanks used by the US Armed Forces, not just in Asia, but pretty much globally. And that's basically it. There's not much information on this weapon system other than a few photos and some footage of this weapon system being unveiled during the 90th anniversary on the 25th of April of 2022. So that's basically it. This seems to be North Korea's new anti-tank weapon system that is clearly based on the Swedish/British NLAW shoulder-fire, fire-and-forget anti-tank rocket launching system. Now, if I had to name this weapon, I think it would be called the Bluesay 5. Bluesay is a series of North Korean anti-tank missile systems where they have been in production since the 1990s, and they are all copies of Soviet and Russian designed anti-tank missile systems. But this new unnamed ATGM is pretty much North Korea's first attempt at copying a Western designed weapon like the Swedish/British NLAW. So what do you all think of this? Please tell me in the comments section below, and until next time, this was J-Man Time, signing off.
し